Hi everyone, I'm Noah Watry, and I'm having the time of my life bringing another video to you brought to you by the NFDA's playing cards, having the talk of a lifetime where I read off 5 cards, answer 5 questions, and that allows you to get to know me a little bit better in promotion of my new book, Life, Death, and Everything in Between, My Time as a Licensed Funeral Director and Embalmer. Let's get started. Once again, for those of you who may be new to what I am doing here, it is twofold. Promoting my book, but also reading off cards that ask questions about one's life so that you can get to know me a little bit better, but also hopefully it sparks some interest within yourself, loved ones, family, friends, anyone really you'd like to get to know a little bit more about before certainly our time does pass. Question number 1. Tell me about your childhood best friend, your college best friend, your current best friend. My childhood best friend, wow, I actually had a few. I don't think I could pick just one. Matt Moore, still my best friend. Dan Learman, still my best friend. I've been friends with these guys for 30 years now. I'm 38, since kindergarten and first grade. And a special shout out to Josh Gadke, who I don't really see or talk too much, but he's certainly a friend of mine. He's been a best friend. He's someone that we used to spend hours, days, decades with, really. So that's the childhood answer. College best friend. I'm gonna go with Max. Max from my mortuary college class. Him and I got pretty close throughout that. Again, a lot of good times. Oh, they're actually shared in the book. And my current best friend, that's my wife, hands down, best friend. The woman that I share my life with, our laughs, our stories, certainly good conversation, and of course, being my wife. Good question there. Number 2, is there a story friends and family will always tell about you? I am a wild and crazy man. I've lived a wild and crazy life. I I think the stories that people would tell about me, my fear is that they're not good. And I'm being serious. Again, I used to have massive problems with drinking, gambling, addictions, things like that. So certainly led to some wild and crazy stories that I'm sure they could and will always tell. But to pick one specific one out, yeah, gosh, I'm stumped here. Let's just go to number 3. I'm like, try to ruminate on the back of my mind here. Number 3, tell me about a time you got into trouble as a child. Okay. As a child, I was a class clown. I did whatever it took to make people laugh, whether it was getting into trouble, having to stay after class, maybe getting answers wrong on something, saying a joke answer versus the real answer just to make people laugh. So I was constantly getting into little trouble like that. I certainly didn't break the law in any way as a child. So just kind of harmless stuff like that. We saved that stuff for my 20s. Card number 4, question number 4. What hobby or activity makes you lose track of time? Hands down has to be writing. I can write for hours on end, just whipping away on the keyboard there, or even taking notes in a journal, whatever it is. I think writing to me is something that I'll start at 8, 9 o'clock sometimes at night and realize it's almost 11 or midnight. So writing is definitely one for me. Outside activity, just bonus, I'll say fishing. When I'm out on a lake, fishing for sure takes up a majority of the time and it flies by. How did you meet your spouse or significant other? What a great question to finish out the night with. My wife, I met at a funeral home. I was a funeral director there. She was an apprentice funeral director. All it took was to work one service together. And people don't know this, but sometimes you do have a little bit of downtime in working funeral services, that you're getting to talk to someone, getting to know them. And as soon as we started talking, it honestly was unexplainable to me. It was love at first sight. And I'm very proud of the fact that we did meet at a funeral home, and that is a big part of both of our lives. So, great question. Very, very good one there. Let's just try to backtrack real quickly. Story families, friends will always tell about me. Man, I've just gone through a bunch of careers. They've said Noah's just a guy that's always willing to try things. Fly out to Vegas and play poker on a whim. He's willing to step foot in a funeral home and show interest in that profession on a whim. But yeah, a lot in the book. A lot in the book. So with that being said, thanks again for watching my videos on the NFDAs, which does stand for National Funeral Directors Association, having the talk of a lifetime playing cards. We'll see you next time.